I've obsessed over the last few weeks reading endless articles and watching hours and hours of YouTube videos, trying to sort out the best possible credit card strategy for my business. This is how my brain works. It needs to fixate on something. It's my superpower, but it can also annoy those close to me. What I landed on here will work really well for me, but it may not work for you in your particular situation. And there's likely improvements that can be made. Here's the business card strategy I developed that will net me over $12,000 over the course of the next year in cashback, miles, and endless perks just by tweaking how I handle my expenses. My name is Rodney. I own a marketing agency. Let's get to it. Four most important factors in determining what cards will be best for my business are: 1. It must be an actual business credit card. It needs to build business credit and not intermingle with my personal expenses, or my accountant might kill me. 2. Minimal fees. I don't mind paying yearly fees as long as the math works out and I'm only spending on things that I would be spending on anyway. 3. I want to utilize as few cards as possible. 4. And most importantly, I need to maximize returns in cashback, miles, and useful perks. Sign-up bonuses are always useful as well. Also, interest rates are 100% irrelevant to me as I always pay my cards in full. This is what I kept in mind while evaluating business credit cards. Before researching the best credit cards, it's crucial to assess your actual expenses. Otherwise, how can you really know if a card's going to be good for you or not? I pulled our P&L, and here's where all of our hard-earned money goes. Payroll and benefits account for roughly 40% of all spending, but I actually can't pay it with a credit card. Around 40% goes to professional services such as subcontractors, accountants, lawyers, link builders, copywriters, on and on. Almost all of these expenses can be paid for with a credit card. The last 20% is split up pretty evenly between online advertising, utilities, software subscriptions, and business travel. Thankfully, all of these categories can be managed with a credit card as well. Stay tuned as I explore the credit cards that align with our spending habits. So where to even start researching the best credit cards for business? After loads of blog articles and endless videos, I shortlisted all the cards I thought I should dig deeper into. I narrowed down the list, disregarding hotel cards and overly specific options that didn't really align with us. I was left with 7 credit cards that really caught my attention. 2 Chase cards, 3 Amexes, 1 card from Bank of America, and a card from Capital One. All of these cards have their pros and cons and could really work for most businesses. You could start by looking at these 7 and it would be really difficult to make a wrong decision. Stay tuned as I reveal the cards that made the final cut and why. If you want to see how I curated this list, you can read all these articles and watch YouTube videos by these awesome creators. First up will be the American Express Blue Business Cash Card. Here's what's good about it. No annual fee and a straightforward 2% cash back without having to worry about any spending categories. You also get access to expanded buying power, which can buy you some peace of mind if you need that kind of thing. Here's why we're not going to use it. While it offers a solid 2% cash back on the first $50K, we'll easily surpass that threshold, and there's more suitable options out there. Because of the lack of an annual fee, I may look at this card in the future just to take advantage of the welcome offer. But for now, it's out. The next card is the Mighty Business Platinum Card by American Express. Here's what's good about it. First off, that welcome bonus though, it's an equivalent of $1,200. That would almost cover 2 years of the annual fee. With the $200 airline credit, it covers 2 years and some. If you do a lot of business travel, this card is mad worth it. It offers 5x points on flights and hotels, exceptional airport lounges, and instant gold status upgrades from Marriott and Hilton. But here's why we're not going to use it. We just don't really travel enough to justify that yearly fee. If our travel needs pick up, I'll definitely reconsider this card because it is awesome, but for now, it's out. Next is the American Express Business Gold Card. 4x points are so good in the approved categories such as gas, computer equipment, travel, and restaurants make it super easy to actually use the card. It's also one of only 2 cards I could find that specifically target online advertising, which could be huge for us. Here's why we're not going to use it though. On the surface, it seems like it would be the perfect fit for us with 4x points in the top 2 business categories. But after calling them, I found out how the charges from businesses that we actually pay get reported might not fall neatly into the categories that will actually help us. We'll definitely consider opening this card up when we're going to scale up our online advertising or want to take advantage of the 4x points for computer upgrades, but for now, it's off the list. Next up is the Chase Inc. Business Premier Card. First, here's what's good about it. The welcome bonus is freaking great. It covers 5 years of fees. The 5x cash back on travel is exceptional, and what makes this card particularly interesting to me is the 2.5% back on all large purchases. Additionally, the 2% cash back would make this the workhorse of any card portfolio. Here's why we're not going to use it. It was a really hard decision not going with this card, but the math just didn't work out compared to other available options. However, if our monthly purchases that exceed $5,000 increase even slightly, we will be getting this card. The more I spend time thinking about this card, the better it seems. Talk to me about 6 months from now and I'll bet I'll have added it into the mix, but for now, it's out. Next is the Chase Inc. Business Preferred Card. Here's what's good about it. The welcome bonus is mad good at a $1,000 value or a $1,250 value if you spend it on travel through their system. The annual fee isn't terrible and the ways you can earn 3% are plenty and useful. Here's why we are going to use it. This is going to be a great card for the travel we have coming up as well as our online advertising spend. Not to mention that redeeming the points for travel will make their value worth even more. If and when our online advertising scales up, we'll need to augment this card with the Amex Business Gold card as the 3 times points actually cap at $150K. Next up is the Capital One Spark Cash Plus card. Here's what's good about it. The welcome bonus is decent, but the barrier to entry to fully utilize it is a bit steeper than others. 5% back on hotels and cars can certainly be handy, and the blanket 2% is awesome. Here's why we are going to use it. This card will be our go-to for everything else, netting us a blanket 2% since our spending tends to not fall neatly into the spending categories that other cards require. We will definitely spend enough each year to take advantage of the $200 cash bonus that will offset the yearly fee, and we'll make use of the hotel and car rental perks as well. The final card we're looking at is the Bank of America Business Advantage Customized Cash Rewards Mastercard. That's a mouthful. Here's what's good about it. Because there's no annual fee and the welcome bonus is so easy to hit, it's a bit of a no-brainer. While the specific categories may not align perfectly with our spending, I can choose the most suitable one and change as needed. Here's why we are going to use it. If we get a Bank of America business checking account and hold a balance of $50 to $100K plus, we can take advantage of the preferred rewards for business program. This would boost rewards up to 5.25%. And if we go in that direction, this card will become even more useful. Here's my 3-card business card strategy. Please note, what works for me may not work for you. Here's the plan. I'll use a Bank of America card for 3% cash back on gas and select categories like office supplies. I'll then use the Chase Inc. Business Preferred card for 3% back on flights, online ads, and phone, cable, and internet. Finally, I'll use the Capital One Spark Cash Plus card for 5% on hotels and car rentals and 2% on everything else. Once you establish a system like this, it requires minimal effort but can have a substantial impact. In my case, it will end up netting 10 to 15K over the course of the year, depending on where my expenses fall. If you have suggestions on how to improve this strategy, or if you want to hear about my personal credit card strat, leave a comment below. Thanks.